Hello. This is one of the episodes that I pre-recorded for my maternity leave. So this was recorded around November, end of 2023. Love you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Circle Time. We are here in New York again, and we have a very special guest for today. Would you like to introduce yourself to the Circlers? I love my guests to introduce themselves.
That's so smart because that way you don't like pronounce anything wrong.
I don't mess up their name.
Yeah.
I don't like, sometimes if someone's like, if someone called me like an influencer and I didn't want to be called an influencer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, let's just open it up to the guests.
So smart. And don't worry, I will introduce myself. But what I do is I will be like, how do you want to be introduced? Like right before. And then I will forget everything they told me.
That's the thing. Or I just forget to introduce them completely and I just jump right into it.
Right.
So yeah, I would rather, I feel like I've said enough people's names wrong to where I was like, we're going to let the people speak for themselves.
My name is Lindsey Metselaar, and I host a podcast called We Met at Acme. It is about millennial dating. And like you, Kelsey, I'm also expecting.
Yes, I'm very excited. We have another fellow pregnant guest on. I've only had one other pregnant guest on. She was like 38 weeks pregnant.
No.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
Who is she?
She's a saint. Her name's Sophie. Okay. Sophie Ansari. She's on Pod Crushed podcast. And I was like, there's no way I'm leaving. I'm going to really soak up the time when I'm 36 at least.
I'm going to pretend I'm on bed rest.
Same.
Yeah.
I almost do already. Like this is coming to New York and like working. Huge. I was like, I'm a hero.
No, you are a hero. I actually just planned my last trip, which will be at 31 weeks also.
Okay.
It's a solo trip to Miami.
Oh, for work or like to relax?
For relaxation.
That is so nice.
I really admire your work trip.
I admire your solo trip.
Well, here's the thing. I'll never be alone again. I'm not even alone right now.
It's true.
You know, there's something in there.
There's always something in there.
But never be alone again, right? Think about it.
No, it's true.
It's weird.
Did you do any like baby moon sort of thing?
We actually did a baby moon to LA and Malibu,
nice.
which was nice.
That's great.
Did you guys?
We are, one of Cody's best friends from school was getting married in Italy. And so we kind of just like extended the trip, or not even, like we just got there a few days early and like went to a nice hotel and hung out. So we considered that. Yeah. We figured if we were like going out there, we might as well do a little something.
Might as well.
Yeah.
So you said like I realized we weren't recording when you said this, but you said the pregnancy has been like generally good so far.
Yeah. I think like all things considered, I really have no room to complain. I could.
No, you literally have no room to complain.
I truly have no room, but also like I could find things to complain about, and I do. It's like the right audience, like my husband.
Yeah.
But really, I think I've had it pretty easy.
Such a good point. Like your husband, when you're pregnant, has to think that you are having the most difficult pregnancy ever.
Oh
like,
my God. No.
You cannot reveal any sort of like good feelings.
Totally. Because I mean, that'll get completely taken advantage of. And also like you need the massage like every day. Like if you're like having a good day, he's like, oh, can I like get a back scratch tonight? It's like, no. Right.
You forgot that I'm really going through it.
It's true.
You know?
That is so true. I also love to like kind of be like, isn't it so amazing that I'm like doing this while I'm so pregnant? Like I love to get a little bit of like a little
credit.
pat on the back.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm just being such a good sport and then I'll go, oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
He was like, have you been in pain? And I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. Don't worry. Just really milking it. Only for him.
Only for him. Like it's like, you know, those TikToks where it's like when my boyfriend's around and it's like, I can't reach like the thing.
No, I've never seen those.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, like, can you reach that for me? And then it's like when my boyfriend's not around, she's like an acrobat, like lifting herself up on like the thing.
That is
like,
so accurate.
Fully. Like I am doing the absolute most when he's not there, but when he's there, I'm helpless on purpose.
100%. And like even he was working late for the last few days, and I was like, fine, like, you know, I'm taking care of the dog, and I'm working, and I'm walking around and stuff. Taking care of myself. The minute he comes home, I'm like, I need water. The dog needs to go out.
Oh my God.
I'm tired.
My favorite thing is to ask for water when we're in the same distance from the water.
Duh.
Yeah, of course.
My water bottle, I carry around like a half-gallon water bottle.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's like too obnoxious, but I can't get in. Are you thirsty?
I'm always thirsty. I have two waters in front of me.
Yeah, I have one next to me here and one right there. I am constantly thirsty. So this half-gallon of water.
But I'm the most thirsty right before bed, which is so hard.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get it? Do you pee a lot?
I pee probably 16 times during the night. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic. Before I got pregnant, I was like a peer too. So.
Oh, see, I wasn't a big peer, I guess.
I think what I've noticed though is that like before I was pregnant and I would pee, I would like, you know, really get it all out. I feel like now it only comes out in tiny
no, it's true.
increments.
I was talking to my sister-in-law about this because I thought like I was just doing something incorrect. I was like, I'm just not peeing properly or something now that there's a human in there. But she was like, do you ever feel like your pees aren't like satisfying anymore?
They're not.
And I'm like, yeah, because you constantly have to go, but you don't feel like you've gone.
Exactly. And you can't push because then you're going to deliver your baby.
You're going to poop it out.
Yeah.
I'm scared of that every day.
Yeah. But you wouldn't poop it out. It would still come out of your butt. Vagina.
Yeah.
But yes.
But like if I'm pooping, the baby's also coming out.
Right.
Every single time.
What have your like weird, I don't know, symptoms is not the right word, like side effects of pregnancy? Like do you have like, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this stuff, but like I have no boundaries. But like, do you have like hemorrhoids? Like, are you farting a lot?
I haven't had any hemorrhoids. I've been like doing my absolute best to avoid that because I'm so scared.
Yeah, it's such a scary thought.
I've been pretty constipated.
Yeah, so you have to fart, but nothing comes out. So the farts are actually really bad because you're constipated.
Yeah, I guess. But that's gotten better. The constipation has gotten better. Actually, mainly my main symptom is that I have indigestion.
Yeah.
Pretty terribly.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had really bad indigestion in like the beginning of my second trimester, like Tums on repeat, Gas X. I have like, it's interesting. Like I don't love the word fart. My husband and I, we call it page, like did you page? And my pages have been pretty crazy. We've always like done that in front of each other. I don't know.
Said the word page
and done
or
it.
Paged.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't really go in front of me in that way because his are like deadly.
Yeah.
But I do because mine are like girl farts, you know.
I'm a pretty shy pager, if you will. I don't really, you don't know when, it might slip out.
Right.
You don't hear it and you don't smell it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you do, I'll deny it until
you just like think it's like not sexy.
No, not even like just for some reason I'm like I think I'm pretty like I don't care. He's not gonna divorce me. Like you know what I mean? Like there's not much mystery happening though, and so sometimes I'm like, he doesn't need to know about that.
Interesting.
Like if I control one thing,
right,
it's that he doesn't care.
Right.
But I'm just trying to like keep the mystery alive a little bit.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Not
but like
that anyone else cares except for me.
The mystery, I mean, is he going to be in the room when you give birth?
Yeah.
Because you're going to like shit on your
myself.
baby and yourself.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Fully aware.
Right.
And we both are aware.
Yeah.
I'm just like not ready to face
I get
that
it.
truth.
I get it. Yeah. But mine have been really bad. I have like weird skin tags. I don't know if you've experienced that. Yeah.
I have not.
Just like in like my like armpit area almost.
And
I don't
that
know.
just came out of nowhere?
Nowhere. No hemorrhoids, thank God.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I wipe, there is like a dot of blood.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, are we getting everyone excited for pregnancy or what? Has it been generally okay for you?
It's been okay. Well, it was really hard for us to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We did IVF.
Okay.
I don't want to say really hard because we had a generally good IVF experience, but it was tough. And so I feel like someone was like looking down to make sure that like the pregnancy wasn't so bad because of that.
Yeah.
I didn't have like too much nausea. I just really can only eat carbs.
Okay.
And I had the constipation problem in the beginning, and now I have the opposite problem.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of annoying, but
yeah.
Other than that, I have bad round ligament pain. Have you had that yet?
Not so much. My pain comes and goes. I've been sticking with my Pilates.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I feel like that has helped.
Definitely.
My Pilates instructor is like also pregnant and just like has been pregnant before. She knows a lot about what's going on. It's like anytime I feel any sort of like pain anywhere, she'll like tailor everything to fix it and to help me. And so it's helped, I think.
That's so great. Does she have like a streaming thing like online? Like,
she does.
Drop her name. Yeah.
Her name is Pilates with Amanda, by Amanda
I know
or
her.
with Amanda?
Yeah, I know her.
I don't know if it's by or with.
I don't know her personally, but my friend does. They're very close.
She's
great.
She is the best. Like I've never enjoyed working out. Wanted to work out before my wedding. Needed to find something. And I was like, I need to find someone that will actually hold me accountable. Someone that I have to know.
Right.
So I met her and then started taking her classes. And then now she's helping me through this. She has an app called Core Club.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there pregnancy stuff on the app? I have to check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's great.
Yeah. That's really good.
Okay, so I feel like just like between being pregnant and then now being postpartum and there's just a lot of body changes going on, but like I'm still me and I still love shopping. Okay. I want to shop all the time and I want to get new clothes all the time, but like it's hard to get new clothes right now because my body is changing like every day. So Nuuly has been an absolute game changer and has been such a saving grace during this time. And so many of my friends who've just had babies or just like anyone really has been using it a lot because we talk about it so often and it's just the best. Nuuly is a subscription clothing rental service. Okay. So for just $98 a month, you get your choice of any 6 styles each month. Okay. So like, for example, this month I'm going on a bachelorette party at the end of the month. I want to get some stuff for that I might not wear again. So it's the perfect place to do that. You can choose whatever you want to rent for whatever you have going on. It's totally up to you. There's access to thousands of styles from more than 400 brands. So everything from party dresses to premium denim and one-of-a-kind vintage pieces. It's just the best. They carry labels like Free People, For Love and Lemons, Anthropologie, Lisa Says Ga. Like so many places that I would shop normally are on Nuuly for me to rent so I can try these things out. It's awesome. Also, there's inclusive sizing, so it's up to 5 times, as well as petite plus maternity, and it's fast, free shipping and returns and professional cleaning in Nuuly's state-of-the-art laundering facility, so you don't have to do laundry. I really do love it. I think it's so fun to like try different styles out that you're like, would that look good on me? I don't really know. You can rent something and you can see. And if you love it, you have the option to buy it for sometimes up to 75% off. It's just like fun. You can feel like creative. You can try new things and it lets your like creative juices flow and it's sustainable. It's flexible. There's no late fees. There's no damage fees. Nuuly is a great value at $98 a month for any 6 styles, but right now you can get $20 off your first month of Nuuly when you sign up with code CircleTime20. Just go to NUULY.com. That's Nuuly with 2 U's and enter the code CircleTime20 and sign up to get $20 off your first month. That's NUULY.com. Nuuly with 2 U's with code CircleTime20. Nuuly subscription clothing rental. Change your clothes.
I'm sure for the circlers listening who aren't pregnant, this is probably like the least entertaining
We
thing.
can pivot.
We're addicted to talking about pregnancy.
It's addicting. Yeah.
Lindsay came in and was like, I'm so happy to see a pregnant person. And I was like, me too. It's kind of crazy because I used to be like so annoyed by that. I would have been so annoyed to hear that interaction.
Oh my God. I'm sure T is like rolling her eyes.
Yeah. She's like, relax, please. But it's an addiction.
It is.
Hanging out with other pregnant people.
It's an addiction. I mean, everyone wants to talk about like where they're at in that moment and if it's the same. Like if we both came in here and we weren't pregnant, I think we'd still want to talk about like podcasting and like Dear Media and like,
exactly.
like something that we have. So it's normal. It's
totally normal. I did something that we both have gone through in previous lives is dating, obviously.
Yes.
And that is something that you are an expert in.
Yes. Wait, tell me your story with your husband. How did you guys meet?
We met through mutual friends.
Okay.
My friend who I was living with at the time was kind of seeing one of his friends from college. And
how old were you guys when you met?
I was about to turn 24.
Okay.
And he was about to turn 27. So that was in 2017.
And you just had like a seamless beginning, or was there like was he like fuckboy-y?
He was not fuckboy-y. I was like, I think we were both pretty sure that we wanted to be with each other. I did have a boyfriend when I met him, who I knew wasn't going to be the person I ended up with.
Crazy. I literally have the same story.
Really?
Except I wasn't 24 and he wasn't 27, but yes.
But I knew I knew he wasn't the one.
Right.
And I knew I should probably not be in that relationship either way, whether I found someone else or I just needed to like not be in it. When I met Cody, it was just kind of like, this is how I'm supposed to feel.
Right.
And it just felt very easy. And it felt very like calm. And it was like we both knew that we were in the right situation.
That's really nice.
How did you meet your husband?
Wait, and then also, I think I looked up your birthday. I think you're a Libra, like me.
I am.
Okay.
Are you as well?
I am, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wait, so when's your actual birthday?
September 24th.
Okay, amazing.
When's yours?
Wait, this is so crazy. You met him on your, what's it called when you have a birthday year on your birthday?
Golden
birthday year.
I did.
Which is really cool.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
that is
like very aligned.
True.
When is his birthday?
November 22nd.
Okay, so that's my dad's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So do you consider him a Sag or a Scorpio?
Yeah, he's a Sag.
Yeah, I consider my dad a Sag too. I met my husband, actually we kind of like ran in similar circles.
Okay.
He went to high school with one of my best friends from college.
Oh, okay.
So I knew his name.
Yes.
But I didn't know him as a person. I just knew that like he was like he was hot and I knew his name.
Okay.
And then
two good things to know.
Two good things to know.
Yeah.
And then I ran into him when I was 29. I'm 33 now. So when I was 29 on New Year's in Miami.
Wow. And neither one of you were living in Miami at the time?
Neither one. We were just like visiting for, like, it's like some New Yorkers like, go to Miami for New Year's sometimes. It's actually a really great place to meet potentially like this specific party.
Not Miami in general, this party?
Not Miami in general. This party was like a Soho House, like New Year's party.
Okay.
But a lot of people have randomly met there that I know.
Interesting.
And we ran into each other, but similar to you, I had a boyfriend at the time. I was actually with him at that party.
Oh.
And Steven, my husband, kind of like hit on me, not even caring because everyone was just like drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like noted.
Right. Were you excited?
I was excited because that relationship, like it had ran its course.
Right.
And like, I'm not being an asshole. Like if my ex was sitting here now, he'd be like, it did run its course.
Right.
But I hate you. But yes, it did. Like, and so then like I ended up breaking up with that guy. And like weeks later, I texted Steve and I was like, I'm single now.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Isn't it interesting, like kind of being with someone else, but meeting like did you know that you wanted to?
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. And I feel like I have gotten so much shit about it. Like sometimes people will like even like write me a podcast review and they'll be like, she cheated on her ex. And by the way, I never, ever would do that. I'm sure it's the same for you. I'm so loyal. Like I was not ever considering. The only thing that I knew was like, wait, I should be with that person. There's some like quote, and it's like, don't let your boyfriend get in the way of meeting your husband.
It's not a bad quote.
Like
it's true.
Just because you're someone's boyfriend or girlfriend, like there's no real security in that.
Right.
Like I'm not saying that, you know, obviously if it's the right person for you, there is, but like that doesn't mean it's like the end all be all. Like I was like, talk about cheating. I was actually cheated on by this guy and this girl, but he was my, you know, boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
And he cheated on me with this girl. And I was so upset. And now they're married with kids. They've been together ever since.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank God.
It's amazing.
You know, it's so good for them.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. Like, obviously,
you weren't
at the
gonna
time,
end up with him.
Yeah. At the time, I was pissed.
For sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, took me some time to move on.
Yeah.
But, like, ultimately, thank God, like, they ended up together because otherwise, I would have just been like, well, that sucked for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like there's never been a question ever since I've been with Cody that like he's the person I actually am like actively choosing and wanting to be with. Whereas in my past relationships, it was more like, yeah, he's my boyfriend.
Right.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're dating. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably someone better out there for me. I was always really worried that like I had a husband that was like in Italy or something, and I was just never gonna meet them, and I was just gonna like live the rest of my life just kind of settling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Cody, and I was like, this is who I'm supposed to be with. And now like no one compares,
Right.
you know?
And like you don't have doubts, which
Right.
is like so great.
Yeah. And I feel like that's how you know that you're choosing the right person. And
Definitely.
It's okay if you're dating someone else and someone comes along and you feel those conflicting feelings of like, should I be with this person? Because I kind of like this other person.
Agreed. But you have to make sure that the other person is like on the same page.
100. It can't just be like a crush. I feel like sometimes people, I also think that that's interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Tell me.
When you have a boyfriend, let's say boyfriend, but you've been with him for a good amount of time. It's a solid relationship. But you develop a crush on someone else. It's not like you guys are even talking. It's not like you even know if he feels the same way, but like it's someone you work with or it's a neighbor or it's something. But you just start to kind of have a little crush on someone else. Do you think that that's healthy? Or do you think that that's a sign that you're not with the right person?
My answer is almost going to be too political in that like it depends.
Yeah.
So like one example that I'll give you is someone that was in my life. I won't like make specifics because they're a person.
Right.
She was with her boyfriend for 2 years.
Okay.
And she developed a crush. She like went on like a weekend, like, I don't know, tailgate something.
Okay.
And she developed a crush. She broke up with the boyfriend and like tried to pursue the crush, who ended up being like a fuckboy and being like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care about you.
Right.
Went back to the boyfriend, is now married with kids with the boyfriend. And to be truthful with you, because her and I are not like, you know, close friends. So I think I can say this. Like that has always given me pause about their relationship.
Yeah.
But I've never been in that situation. Since meeting Steven, I've not had a crush.
That's when I started to really think about it differently because I always had other crushes on other people.
In other relationships.
So I would always say, it's normal.
Exactly.
If someone asked me, I would be like, oh my God, it's so normal. Trust me, it happens all the time.
Right.
When I started dating Cody, I was like, absolutely have never had the desire to have a crush on someone else.
Totally.
So then I was like, maybe you're just not with the right person.
Yeah. So now I would say my final answer is it's not normal.
Okay.
But it is normal to have like a good banter with someone, you know, like.
Yes. But that's like a different thing. If I'm not scared to like, I feel like when Cody's like seen me banter with other guys. And like, if I'm not trying to like hide that, it's completely different. You know what I mean? Like if he's just like, hey, we're all having a conversation, I'm talking to someone, we're like messing around, we're bantering, whatever. If I'm not like oh my God, Cody saw that. There's nothing wrong with it.
Totally.
But the second, if I were to be like, oh no, like, I don't want him to see this, then all of a sudden it's weird.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But like, I love bantering with like some, you know, like, for example, one of my husband's good friends, he has a friend.
Okay.
Who's like we'll joke, like he's like my boyfriend when we go to parties.
Okay.
Because we have like a fun like banter.
Yeah.
And like, it's a joke. And like my husband thinks it's funny.
Right. But your husband's like aware of it.
But
like,
he's aware of it.
He gets the joke.
He gets the joke.
Exactly.
And like, he's not like, this makes me uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah. And if he were to be uncomfortable, he would tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's different. But the crush thing, I mean, I remember I had a boyfriend like forever ago. Great, wonderful guy. We just weren't like, we were never gonna end up together, but I have nothing but great things to say about him. But I developed a crush for someone else and we ended up breaking up, and I like tried to pursue this crush, didn't go anywhere, but I was like, there's still a reason why me and this guy broke up.
Of course.
So we kept it as broken up.
Yeah.
I've never gotten back with an ex.
I have once, and it was
what are your thoughts on getting back with an ex?
It's never a good idea. It
Okay.
never works out. Like, there's someone listening right now that's like, it worked out for me.
Right.
Okay. Like, you're the exception. It never, like, I would say 9 out of 10 times, it's a terrible idea.
I have so many questions. So do you think there's any amount of a quote unquote break that would make it so that it would work out? Or do you think no?
I think that if you're really young, like if you met in high school,
okay,
or like met in college,
yeah,
and you take like 23 and 24 off or something, maybe different. It could be good, you know. But I think like past 25 and even honestly even before that, but I'm like being generous, I just don't think, I think there's always a reason that you broke up, and like it will not change when you get back together for the most part.
What if this person has supposedly completely changed everything that you think was the issue?
It's impossible.
Okay.
Like,
I love this. I agree.
But the person convinces them that they're going to change and like things will be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm just cynical, because I do think I'm a pretty cynical person, or if I'm just like protective of the people that I love and I want them to be happy.
Right.
But I'm always like, be honest, how is it actually going? Tell me the truth. Like, let me pull you aside. Just tell me. Is it actually different?
And it's usually not, unfortunately. Like, those issues are, and like, even if you break up for like not a serious reason, like no one cheated, you just like you think that the timing was off, like something where like you're like, we should definitely get back together because like there was no real reason,
right?
Then the second time you date, you realize it wasn't because the timing was off,
right?
It was because they're too nice or like something, you know. I'm big on like the cold turkey
cut off
after a breakup.
No talking.
It's the only way.
And so you don't believe in breaks?
I don't believe in breaks. We actually have a whole episode about why breaks are bullshit.
I would love to listen. Because I've always really agreed with that. But I just feel like some people don't agree with that.
I think any form of a break is bullshit. Like, if you need to take a break from this person to either figure out how you feel or whatever, even if you get back from a trip and you're like, I need space from this person for a week, that's also a red flag, I think.
Right. Okay.
Like, people will reach out and they'll be like, I just went on like a vacation with my boyfriend and like we like needed like a week after to like be on our own. I'm like, but you're going to live together one day.
Right. It's only going to get more and more.
You need to love being with this person all the time. Like when you come back from a trip with Cody, like, aren't you like, oh my God, we're like more connected than ever. Like, we have a million more inside jokes from the trip.
Totally.
You know?
And I'm like excited to do the things that we normally do at home together. Like just like watch TV or like cook or whatever
like
it is. Like I'm excited for being home with him just as much as I would be excited to like travel with him.
Totally.
Okay, I asked the circlers if they had any dating advice questions, and I feel like we've answered some, but they have a lot.
Okay, let's hear. I also need to know where you got your jeans because I can't wear any good. I have no good pregnancy jeans.
These are Levi's.
Oh.
I haven't gotten any sort of like maternity jeans. And this is not, I don't recommend this because it's not fiscally responsible.
You just sizing up.
I just keep sizing up. But you know what I do is I size up more, like I've sized up a lot and then gotten those buttons that you can add on.
I need a link to these buttons.
I'll show you the buttons. I got these buttons off Amazon and maybe everybody could benefit from this, but you just like clip them onto your pants and they like, here I can show you.
Yeah, show me.
This is like not the real button that came on the pant.
Oh.
I just like clip it on.
Oh.
And then pull it over. And then once I get a little bit bigger, I can take it out and just use.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been good. I'll send you a link to the buttons.
Yeah, please do.
But I've been trying to not sacrifice like too much of my personal style while being pregnant because I feel like it's something that like brings me joy is like getting dressed. Sometimes, a lot of times I'm in sweats, but like when I'm going somewhere.
Right.
And I just wanted to keep wearing jeans. And so many people were like, you're not going to want to wear jeans. But I do because it makes me feel like a human.
I get that.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just like the little things that you have to try to do to like stay feeling normal.
100%.
Because it's like the least normal time of my life ever.
Right.
Which you could probably understand. So I'm like, if I could just keep finding clothes that I like and wearing them, I'm going to find a way to make that work. So that's my thoughts on jeans. I've gotten a lot of like jean related questions lately. So I really had to compile my thoughts.
I'm happy to hear those thoughts.
Yeah,
honestly.
I do love this outfit that you're wearing.
This is Amazon.
Is it? I really like it.
I saw another pregnant friend wearing it and I was like, send me the link.
Okay. Will you send me the link?
I will.
Thank
100%.
you. I appreciate it.
If you're going to like a more like, fancier thing.
I love it.
Then you can throw it on.
It's great.
Thank you.
All right. If you have a bunch of dating apps on your phone and you want to delete them all, well, I have the app for you. It's Hinge. Hinge is the dating app designed to be deleted. Why is that, you ask? Well, Hinge gives you a sense of someone's personality and lets you share your own. You get to know potential dates through their unique answers to prompts, plus get a sense of someone's dating intentions and what they're looking for. It really is the best. I have so many people in my life who have met their significant others on Hinge. My cousin, for example, shout out, she met her now wonderful husband on Hinge, and they are just so happy and so in love, and they just got married this past December. Their answers to the prompts and photos let them both know they had a similar sense of humor and a lot of common interests before they even went on their first date. Because they met on Hinge, they both knew they were looking for a fulfilling relationship, and the rest is history. Isn't that amazing? I know when it comes to dating, it can be tough to put yourself out there and like know where to start, but that is why I am excited about our sponsor, Hinge. As you all know, I am a married woman, but if I were single today, Hinge would be the app for me. I'm telling you, I love helping my friends update their profiles with new pictures and new answers to their prompts. And it's just so much fun. And you really get to like let your personality shine. And I think it's fun. I hear amazing things from friends that it is the app to use if you're trying to date intentionally. And Hinge is the perfect dating app if you're ready to put your best foot forward, go beyond the surface and express your personality and meet people who are on the same page. It's wonderful. On Hinge, there are no rules, timers, or games. If you're feeling inspired, give Hinge a try. Download Hinge today and find someone worth deleting the app for.
Okay, so the circlers have a lot of questions. Now, there are like a lot of different age ranges. I know your expertise is like millennial dating, but we do have like a solid amount of different ages here.
I have some Gen Z cousins, so
okay. I guess my cousins are even younger than Gen Z, but sometimes I get so intimidated.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are saying.
So intimidating. I agree.
Okay. First of all, one of the many, like a main umbrella of questions we get is long distance questions. How to make it work? Is it possible to make it work? When should you try? When should you not try? We get a lot of, I'm going to college here. My boyfriend's going to college here. We want to try to make it work. what are your thoughts on long distance in general? And then we can get into the more specifics.
Okay, so no one's going to like this, but if you're in college, don't do long distance.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like another exception moment. Like there's someone listening being like, I was with
It worked for me.
college sweetheart the entire time. I was in Arizona. He was in Rhode Island. We made it work. So great.
That is
like,
great.
Truly. I'm impressed.
Me too.
Most college, like most high school relationships, you go to college and you try to stay together with that person, they won't work. And maybe I'm just speaking to my own trauma because I tried that with my high school boyfriend. Didn't work. But I would say this is a general thing. So long distance in college, no. After college, long distance can work, definitely. You hopefully have like some more disposable income. You can always have a plan and action of when you're going to see each other next. That's so important.
Okay.
Like knowing the next time, having something on the books every time you leave each other.
Yeah.
And then also you need an end date to when you can be in the same place permanently.
Yeah. I think there's also the idea that like one person kind of has to sacrifice their life to go move towards the other person.
Kind of. Yeah. It's usually the person who either has like a more flexible career or like family in the place.
Right. Do you think that could come with resentment ever? Or do you think that like when it's the right relationship, you'll just make it work and like you can do you feel like the relationship is the most important thing that you should be focusing on? Because some people, are saying like my career and this and that, but I know that I want to be with this person, but I love having my own career and I love being a working woman or working man, whatever it is. Where like how do you navigate staying true to what you love to do, but also like making a relationship work when it's the right person?
I don't think you have to give up your career when it's the right person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's even if you would have to move and find a new job.
Even if you would have to move and find a new job, the right person wouldn't make you walk away from like an amazing career that you love.
Okay.
You just like figure it out. Maybe that means you're long distance for longer. But like my friend and her husband were long distance. He was in LA. She was in New York for like a long time.
Yeah.
And eventually she moved to LA, but she didn't have any resentment because they at that point like had like friends in LA like together.
Right.
Like it wasn't like they were like moving to the middle of nowhere where like they didn't know anyone and she was like unfulfilled, the city girl, like she was able to kind of get the same things that she had.
And she felt ready to move. It wasn't so much like she was moving preemptively because she thought she was supposed to for him and their relationship.
It was a discussion of like, well, obviously if I'm going to move, we're going to move in together. We're going to get engaged eventually.
Yes.
Are we going to want to raise a family in LA?
Right.
And if the answer is yes, then like, yeah, this is obviously the right choice.
Yeah.
But I think if you're moving for someone, like you better have discussed the future.
The future. When it comes to discussing the future, here's another question we've gotten a few times. Do you think there's any like taboo in asking when someone's going to propose or if they're on the same page as you or what their thoughts are on the longevity of your relationship? Do you think there's a certain time, like a certain timeline of asking that, figuring out that next step? Or do you think like you should just talk about it whenever?
I think there's like a delicate dance of this conversation. Yeah. And I don't think it should be like, so are you going to propose to me? Like, I think that's so cringe.
Yeah.
I think that having a like, are we on the same page conversation is really important and necessary.
Yes.
And different than you giving someone sort of an ultimatum.
I agree. Because I think the question of like, are you going to propose, while it's not being, you're not giving an ultimatum, it does feel like one because there's really just a yes or no. Like, are we on the same page is more just like discussing your future and like figuring it out together.
Right.
Whereas like, are you going to propose to me is so like blatant.
It's taking away all your power too.
Right.
It's so important for it to be a discussion where you use like I instead of we too.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
you state kind of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And then they can respond about how they're feeling.
Okay.
And then you know if you're on the same page.
Yes.
Versus you being like, are we good? Like are we gonna like do this
Right.
in a year? Like are we gonna no, just like I'm really excited about our future.
Yeah.
And like what are you gonna respond to that?
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be like, I'm also really excited about our future.
Right. So I mean, I wouldn't say this is obvious because some people have different thoughts, but you would say like saying something along the lines of like, you need to propose to me by blank, or will you propose to me by blank? Will you propose to me? Not you need to, but like, will you propose to me by this time next year?
I don't like it.
Okay.
Did you have to have that conversation? Like, did you have that conversation with
Cody and I had conversations more just about like our future. Like I was always just like wanted to make sure that like we were on the same page because I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I just want to make sure that like you're also like, what are your thoughts on our future type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when it was coming time when he was like planning to propose to me, he said, like we were just having like another conversation and he was like, I'm going to propose to you by the end of the year. Like kind of like gave me that information, just kind of like told me. But that was in January of the year and he didn't propose until like December.
So you were like, what the fuck?
So I was like very on edge for like a year. And it's funny, I get a lot of comments of people being like, he didn't want to do it. And so he had to wait so long. And I'm like, no, if he didn't want to do it, he truly just would have never done it.
Right. Like it's.
But then when I did get engaged and get married, I was like, I loved that era of my life.
It's fun.
It was fun. It's fun to like embrace.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of times it gets like some flack for being a little bit like lame.
You know what? Like, let's let people have and enjoy their weddings.
Totally. Also, however they want.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, the wedding police is pretty strong out there on the internet, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's like, believe it or not, you're not wearing that dress.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even invited to the wedding.
Right. So
it doesn't
I'd like to
really
see your
matter.
wedding. Internet haters.
Yeah.
Show me your wedding.
That's like one thing that makes me so sad when I see people like really just tearing apart someone else's wedding or like something they chose to do for their wedding. Because I'm like, someone put a lot of hard work into that. And also like they did what they wanted to do.
Right.
Because it's actually their day. It has quite literally nothing to do with anyone else.
Right.
And it just breaks my heart when people are like,
no, it's so mean.
It's so mean.
And everyone does it. Like even not internet haters, like people who are attending the wedding too.
Yeah. And like sometimes I'll be like, I'm not sure why they chose to do that. That was a crazy choice, but like, I don't care.
Right.
It was their wedding. Like Posh, Victoria Beckham and
oh, with their wedding on the thrones.
With the purple.
Insane. But
iconic now.
Iconically insane. I'm sure they would be like, why did we do that now?
Yeah, but it's like,
who cares?
They did it.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to do whatever. Anyway, let's see. Transition from college relationship to adult life. How do you make it work when you've just lived in these small, I don't think people sometimes realize how small college actually is because it's just like, that's your only world. When you get into adult life, it expands a lot. How do you take a relationship from just being in college to the real world?
It's such a bubble. I actually think my best piece of advice for a relationship lasting the real world is don't like move in with your boyfriend right away or girlfriend right away after college. Like have the experience of living with your friends, having roommates, and still like dating that person.
Yeah.
Because you're dating now, you're going out on dates. It's different than in college where you're all just hanging out at the same parties.
Going to the same parties, yeah.
Like actually experience them as like a working individual.
Right, who's like taking you on a date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's like what's so important, I think, for the transition and like still building your own life.
Yeah. And I also think, maybe I'm wrong, but I also think like not just making sure that your time that you're spending with them is not just like social engagements with a bunch of other people, because I think that's a lot of college relationships, is just like going to parties together with 800 other people. Making sure, but like when you get into adult life, make sure that like you actually enjoy spending time with them, not completely blacked out around a million other people, but like for them, not for like the frat they're in or not for the classes that you have together, whatever it is, but like just because you actually enjoy them as a person.
That's such good advice. Like you have to be able to see them in these different scenarios, new scenarios now.
Yeah, because there's so much more than just that. And that none of that matters anymore. Whereas in college, it's all that matters. And all of a sudden, like everything that mattered in college, you get into the real world, it doesn't matter.
Not at all. Like if they were the club promoter at college, like
right.
that makes no sense in the real world.
Or like even like their fraternity president.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares.
Like if all the boys looked up to them in college, like could be totally different now.
Right. Yeah. Next up. Are relationships perfect 100% of the time?
I mean,
I really feel like social media distorts reality. You are not wrong. It completely distorts reality.
If relationships were perfect 100% of the time, that would be a crazy world we're living in. They're never perfect.
They are never perfect.
Never.
And I feel like as someone who has like a online, like more public relationship, it's like my duty to make everyone aware that it's not always perfect, because I never want someone to like bend over backwards trying to make whatever situation they're in work because they think it's supposed to be perfect, when like really nothing's ever perfect.
Nothing's ever perfect. People are not going to post online mid-fight
right.
with their husbands and be like, we're having another fight.
Yeah.
Am I wrong or is he wrong? Like that's not...
I would love to.
I would love that
if
too.
people started doing
but
that.
But then they would get shit because people, would be like, this isn't normal, but that could be.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I think obviously relationships are not perfect.
Yes.
But what I will say is like they shouldn't be worse than they are good. Like they shouldn't be
totally
over 50% of the time you're miserable.
Yes. I agree with that. I think it's more just like it's okay if you have a fight with your significant other if you are able to like communicate and work it out.
Exactly. It's like how you feel after the fight.
Yes.
Do you feel closer and more connected, or do you feel more isolated, lonely, scared of this person? Like you shouldn't have those second feelings.
Exactly. I saw one. I don't know where it is at the moment, but it was like, I have been with someone for 3 years, just moved in together. I'm not 100% sure. Like, is it too late? Is it too late to still be in this relationship? Or like, is it too late to get out now that we've been together for so long and we just moved in together? Or is there always time?
It's never too late. And you're not married. So like, it's a great time.
Right.
Because you don't have to legally separate.
This is true.
Like it sucks to go from living with someone to breaking up. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's going to like be so much better for you if you do it now than if you wait till after marriage or babies.
Completely agree. Like it's easy to look at your age and think that you should be in a certain part of your life because this person is, or just because you're this age and you always thought by the time you were a certain age you would be doing a certain thing. But that there are no rules and there is no timeline that is correct. Everybody is completely different. And I just always really want to remind people of that, because I feel like it's so easy to just be like, well, I'm 30. I said by the time I'm 30, I'm going to get married and I'm with this guy and he's fine.
No, that's so sad.
Don't ever just say it's like someone, if you're describing someone as fine.
Like, what's your dad like? Oh, my mom says he's fine.
Exactly. One of my best friends, we always talk about this still, but forever ago, we were talking like probably 7 years ago. She wouldn't care if I shared this. She was like just not happy in her relationship that she was in at the time. We were both so young. She was not happy. And I was like, she was like, but like, he's nice. And I was like, okay, what else? What else? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, the only way you can describe him as nice. Do you want to be with someone who the only thing you can say about him is he's nice?
No.
Never. And she was like, you're so right. And like we talk about it all the time now because it's just like, what if she just like was just with that guy?
Thank God she didn't. And like there will be so many nice people that you meet.
Everyone's nice.
But it doesn't mean that there's like a real connection. So to this person who wrote this in, like 3 years, you put in a lot. You learned
a lot.
You learned a lot. There's always something to learn from a breakup.
Exactly.
And you know for sure that this isn't your person. So set him free.
And it's okay. Like, it's okay that you're living together. It's okay. Even if you were legally bound, even if you were married, it's okay if you're not happy. I don't know.
Yeah. And like, it's kind of like lean into the chaos. Like, it's almost like a movie to me in like you break up, but like you don't know where to live. You go like live on friend's couch. Maybe you meet their brother.
Totally.
And like, you know, your life is about to unfold in such exciting ways.
Eat, pray, love.
Yeah. Lean into this journey.
Exactly. I completely agree. Okay. Let's see. What advice would you have on someone in their early 30s who wants to date and meet people?
I always say like be a yes person.
Okay.
So like anything that someone invites you to, say yes. You just never know.
Okay.
I also think you should be on the apps. Like no one's above dating apps.
Okay, so you are pro app.
Pro app. And
is there any app that you don't think people should be on?
I mean, there are some apps I like better than others.
Okay.
But in the sake of, you know, in case they want to sponsor the podcast someday, I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
But definitely be on the apps.
Okay.
And
just put yourself out there on the apps.
Put yourself out there. And like, if you really want to meet someone, like tell your friends, like if you have someone, set me up, you know?
Yeah.
Put the feelers out.
Do you think that there's like, I think it's wonderful when people know what they want and have a list of things that they're looking for in someone and a list of things that they're not looking for. Do you ever think that those lists get a little too specific and they just lead people kind of astray almost because they could be missing out on something really great, but just because the guy like does his hair a certain way, they like don't want to be with
you
him?
have to throw out the checklist and instead make a list of wants versus needs.
Okay.
And the needs list should literally only be like 5 things max.
Yeah.
And it's not like British accent. It's like close with family. Like if that's important to you, you know, like it's like values.
Yeah.
Not like has to be over 6 feet. Like need a 6-pack.
Exactly.
Like, no.
So it shouldn't be like physical things.
Nothing superficial.
Right. That completely makes sense. I feel like the ick phenomenon that's happening on the internet is almost unhealthy.
Beyond.
Because it's really easy for someone to accidentally like fall or
so
something.
easy. I mean, know. Like, do you have any icks from Cody?
No.
Like not one.
I tease him that the only time I ever, because I'm like, okay, we're married. Like there's actually not much you can do besides like cheat on me or like do something actually terrible where like I would want to not be with you anymore. So like the icks, he doesn't like do something and I'm like, oh God. But there was one time where he went in a cold plunge for the first time.
Yeah.
And like the noises that were coming out of him, I was like, you need to breathe.
I mean, like the icks, like for your husband or wife, like they're not real icks. Like when he gets like a sweet green salad, like instead of like, you know, eating a burger with me, I'm like, ugh, I have the ick. But it's not like a real ick.
It's not, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
Like last night when Cody went to bed and I sat alone and ate a burger by myself in like the dark, I was kind of like, you could have eaten with me.
Yeah.
And it's annoying that you just don't want to eat at midnight.
Right.
When I'm starving.
Right.
But we're not getting divorced over this one.
Exactly.
But I think for people dating, it's hard because there are so many of these things that are icks or red flags or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, like everyone on the internet is telling you that you shouldn't be with this person because of this one, like not actually important thing.
But if it's not important to you, it doesn't matter. Like it's not, you don't have to take on everyone else's icks.
Yeah. And also you don't have to like, I feel like a lot of times it's like just people are kind of just like making them up.
Yeah.
Like, when have you ever seen someone do that?
No. Like like the weird like tiptoe like thing. Like I don't know. I've seen a million of these.
Or like when the guy like asks for like a check and the waiter doesn't see them.
And what does he do?
Like if he's like check and the waiter like
Yeah.
doesn't make eye contact with him.
Then that's an
That's
ick?
an ick.
Oh,
And
God.
I'm like, that could literally happen to anyone.
No, that could happen to anyone.
Can you like what if that happened to me and I
Yeah.
was with this guy who I really liked and he liked me, all of a sudden I asked for the check. The guy doesn't see me and all of a sudden this
That's
guy
too
never
niche.
wants to speak to me again.
That's too niche. That's ridiculous.
But it's a thing.
Mm-mm.
And even Cody was like, oh my God, did that, like he did it. It happened in the wild. It happened. And he was like, oh God, did you get the ick? And I was like, first of all, like, that's not going to happen. But also like, no, that's not real. Like you don't
Right.
have to be self-conscious. You do not have to be self-conscious that I'm going to get the ick because it just makes people like self-conscious, I feel
No, like the ick, there's too low of a threshold for the ick. Like a real ick, and this actually happened to a friend recently. This, like a waiter came over when they sat down, and it was their first date, and he was like, do you want like still or sparkling? And the guy was like, still, please. But you should say tap if you don't want a bottle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And he didn't know that. So then like they brought a bottle,
Okay.
and then like the check came, and he was like, why am I being charged for
interesting.
a bottle of water? And he was like, we asked you if you wanted still or sparkling. And then she got the ick, and I was like, fair.
I actually understand that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that would be like the being angry.
Right. Like don't fight with the waiter over
Don't
your
fight with the
stupidity.
waiter. I would if,
their
like,
job is to charge you.
exactly.
more.
If I didn't know that I was going to be charged for something, I would probably be like, "Oh, that's weird. I got charged." Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
I don't.
I'm a sucker.
Yeah. Oops. But I get it. I think like being rude to waiters, that's an actual red flag.
Right.
Or like that could be an ick.
Yeah.
But like someone stumbling
You got to
outside,
check. Yeah. Stumbling outside. No.
that can't.
But I was on a date once with a guy, and I got the ick so badly, but it wasn't his fault. You're going to be like, that's so mean of you. We were waiting at like a stoplight to like walk, and he kind of like walked in front a little into the bike lane, and a biker hit him.
Hit him?
Hit him.
Stop.
And he was in so much fucking pain, and he tried to pretend like he was in no pain.
That's actually
And
insane.
he was like, no, like I was like, are you okay? He was like, oh yeah, like that was fine. I know it wasn't fine. Like I saw it. Like I would be in the emergency room, like if that were me. And he like tried to play it off so cool.
Oh no.
Major ick.
See, but you also probably knew before that happened that you weren't gonna
Oh yeah, no.
have another date with this
Mm-mm.
guy.
I was done with him before
Right.
that. Yeah.
That's the thing. What gets me is like when someone's like, I really was into this guy. It was going so well. We were talking, it was flowing. I wanted to see him again. And then he asked for the check and the waiter didn't see, and I never wanted to see it. That I'm like, okay, that's false.
Yeah.
This, you weren't gonna see him again. Then he got hit by a bike, then pretended he wasn't hurt. That's a valid ick.
It's too good.
It's too good. Any advice on how to overcome disconnection in a relationship?
I actually just recorded an episode on this with someone who's way more experienced than I to discuss this.
Okay.
But his advice was like to not forget about like date night, like not forget about like the thing that like keeps you connected to this person.
Okay.
And I said to him, I was like, date night's like boring though. Like if you're not feeling connected to a partner and then you're like, sit here and talk to this person for 2 hours.
Right.
I wouldn't be like, oh, I feel so much more connected.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's more about like either asking like different questions instead of like, how's your day going, honey? Like,
Mhm.
how's your day? And instead being like, what did you learn today that like excited you? Or
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then doing things that are different with your partner,
Okay.
like a new experience together.
Yeah. That completely makes sense. Have you seen that thing where it's like, don't ask your kids like if they had a good day?
Yes, I
Ask them
have.
like who they played with,
Uh-huh.
what they liked about the day, what they didn't like
Well,
about
I've
the
actually
day.
heard I've heard recently, don't ask your kids how their day was or if they had a good day. Don't even say anything to them because like they were stimulated all day.
Don't speak.
Because they
to
were
your
stimulated all day. Like just like let them like enjoy like after school with mom, and like then like they'll like come and tell you like about their day.
Interesting.
But just
two
like, don't be
completely
like that
different
annoying person who
approaches.
picks them up from school. And it's like, how's your day, sweetie? How are your teachers? How's your
Right.
classes?
Right.
Like,
so wait a little bit.
yeah.
And then
just be like, let's chill. Let's put on your favorite song.
interesting. Love
Mhm.
that.
Just ignore your kids.
They get in the car, you don't even turn around. Do not speak to them for 3 hours until bedtime.
Play
go to
games with your
sleep.
kids, people.
Yeah. Last question. Let's see. So many long distance ones. We kind of talked about this, but thoughts on remaining friends after breaking up?
No reason.
Even if you were friends before. What if you ended up dating your best friend?
It's really sad that you now lost your best friend and your boyfriend, but it's over.
Ouch. Ouchie. You heard it here first.
Don't date your best friend unless you are for sure that you guys are getting married.
Right. Okay. That's a good piece of advice. So what if this is what I always kind of think of? I saw like if people are still friends when they break up, they either never actually liked each other or they're still in love.
One of them is, yeah.
Do you think that that's true?
Definitely.
I wouldn't actually say I'm like close friends with any of my exes, but like we have mutual friends, and so I've had to like be around them, and it's like so normal and fine because it's like I don't think either one of us wish that we were still with the other person.
Right.
So it's
in that
fine.
case, it's fine.
Well, Lindsay, I could ask you a million more questions and talk to you for so much longer, but I know that we are past our time. So thank you so much for all of this very insightful help and for talking to me about pregnancy and just for being so wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so chill.
I loved every second of it. Do you want to tell the circlers where they can find you? You did mention your podcast name already, but
yes,
say it again.
You can find me wherever you listen to podcasts. We met at Acme. You can find me there.
Do you promote your regular, like your solo Instagram?
If you want pictures of me,
Yeah.
you can follow
She's
my personal Instagram.
And pregnant.
It's very kind. Lindsey Metselaar.
There we go. Well, thank you guys all so much for listening. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Circle time. Let's sit down and have some fun. I said circle time. Just you and I. Time.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.